Creating accessible forms requires labels, keyboard access, clear instructions, and error handling that is effective. There are usually visible labels on text fields and other form controls, such as this address line example. In a properly marked up label, people can interact with them using keyboards, voice input,
click town or city,
or screen readers.
Form controls menu. Address line 1, edit text. Address line 2, optional, edit text. Town or city, edit text. Postcode, edit text.
Also, the label itself becomes clickable, increasing the target area and making it easier to select small radio buttons or checkboxes. Forms may be as simple as a text box, such as search, or they may contain multiple text fields, radio buttons, checkboxes, drop-down lists, and buttons. When checking forms accessibility, make sure all elements that are clickable are keyboard accessible by tabulating over them. Check that a form label is present and associated with a form control. In order for a screen reader and voice command users to interact with form controls, form labels need to be properly associated with its form control. The preferred technique for labeling form controls is by reference. First, include an ID attribute on the form control to be labeled. Then use the label element with the for attribute value that references the ID value of the control. When groups of form controls are present, use the fieldset component to show the relationship between multiple form inputs. As an example, asking for an address may require grouping multiple text inputs under one fieldset. The same is true for radio buttons, checkboxes, and date inputs. The first element inside a field set must be a legend which describes the group of inputs. This could be a question, such as, "What is your current address?" or a statement like, "Personal details." On pages with only one form control, you can set the label's contents as the page heading. To set the contents of a label as the page heading, you need to put the label tag inside the H1 tag. For example, on a page that only asks users for their postcode, the question, "What is your postcode?" would be both the page heading and the most logical label for your text input.
So let's dive into the realm of forms and their annotation, with a special emphasis on field sets and design clarity. As we explore our example of the passport details form, we come across the heading level 1, which is passport details. And then we've got some form fields. As we explore our example of the passport details form, we land on the passport details heading. This is a heading level 1, and it serves as a beacon directing users to the form's purpose. This can be filled in with the H1 in the Assets tab. This whole section is a form. I don't have a component for a form, so we're going to create one. To do that, you can use the rectangle. We're going to change the opacity to 10%. Change the color. Give it a stroke of 2%. Let's change the color again. We'll also add a little mini label to the side here. Here we've got a label for this field set. So to make sure developers are aware that these two need to be linked, we're going to create another rectangle to group these together. This time we're going to give it a dashed outline. We can then add another label. We can add an arrow, show that this is a label. I'm going to change the color of this to match this pink here. Here this is somewhat different because this is actually a group of field sets that are linked to this here. So this is technically a legend. So I'm just going to copy this over just to show that these are related. If you've got multiple fields in a form, say asking for an expiry date, a field set is your ally. The field set groups related form controls, its association with the legend, in our case, expiry date, provides the necessary context, especially for screen reader users. This combination creates a harmonized user experience. So I'm just going to make it known that this is a field set. So what I'm going to do is create another label similar to this. This time we're going to name it field set. This is a legend, so let's make that known that it's a legend. And similar to this, we're going to highlight these months and years. So within our field set, which delicately groups inputs for the date of expiry, every component of this date, be it day, month, or year, should be visibly labeled and equipped with an input box. So we need to make sure that the developers associate the labels to its form control. To do this again, we'll do something similar to what we've done here. We will put a box around these. And we would add a label to these. I've already completed this, so I'm going to show you what it looks like down here. So I don't cover this hint text. I've just done some really sleek arrows throughout and shown that these should be labels. I've also added in annotations that this continue button is a button. And I've also mentioned that this is a hint text. We can also do that for this section here. So just to summarize, when translating these designs for developers, spotlight and note every input and its label. In our example, the connection between the passport number input, its label, and the hint must be distinctly annotated. When we come across field sets, like our expiry dates, it's imperative to outline its boundary and highlight its association with the legend. The Continue button, beyond its visual appeal, may house interactions that need documentation. Ensure any behavior tied to it is jotted down. In this case, we don't know where the next Continue button is going, but there will be times when you want several related questions on one page. In such scenarios, use this statement as the heading for clarity. Style your labels or legend so users can quickly scan your questions. You have style and flexibility, and you can harness different classes to customize labels and legends to stand out or blend in as needed. In conclusion, a form is more than just a collection of fields, it's an experience. Proper annotation is the bridge between design and development, ensuring a seamless, accessible, and user-centric product.